Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Probably going to be a pretty short and sweet video. I'm going to do an install video and a test review on the Andrew Chase left-hand throttle. I believe his product is called the Xtra hand throttle. So we're going to get that installed on Ducky. I have one for my red bike, but I stripped the screws on it. So on there, part of this informative how-to video is going to be about my mess up and trying things first for you guys. If you don't have an impact screwdriver, you're very likely gonna strip these out for your brake handle that you have to move and scoot over. So I highly recommend you get an impact screwdriver. Harbor Freight sells them for as cheap as like $7 or $8. So if you're gonna spend the money to get a left-hand throttle, if you don't already have an impact screwdriver, go ahead and get one. All right, so I have one after I messed mine up, and I went and bought one, and I got these out. It got late and I didn't have time to install it, so I like put the bike back together, but I can get these screws back out. We're gonna get these off, move this over, get the cup holder and everything off, and we're gonna do the install video on this left-hand throttle, so stay tuned for that. Here it comes. The next thing is, I told you guys about using this impact screwdriver, or if I didn't, I'm telling you now, but I believe I've already loosened this up enough, because like I said, I did take these off before, so I shouldn't be able to strip this. Yeah, that one came right out. Not a problem, didn't have to be hit. I've already loosened it, and I didn't tighten it down the way that Honda loosens it up. So the first thing that I want to do is scoot this over, move it out of the way, and I'm going to kind of tighten this up for a minute, just tight enough so where it stays. If I can move it out that far, that'd be great. All right, let's see what it says. I know on these things there's like a dowel pin that kind of aligns the headlight thing right there, so I don't know if you have to cut that off. We'll get the directions out, make sure we're doing everything correctly, but that way you guys you know what you're getting into before you actually do it. Hear my paper moving around. I already got a Phillips head screwdriver. Pretty sure you guys can see that. I loosened this up before too, and I realized that it had this tab on here, and it was getting dark, it was getting late. Once again, I just decided to, hey, let me try to put this back on for now. It was like a day before riding, but basically this little dowel, this tab, we're gonna cut off with a knife or file it down or something so that it can be moved over, and we're gonna put our bracket right there to hold these. If I can reach it. Magnetic bolt holder, worth its weight in gold. So this just pulls apart. It's very dirty. That's what it looks like inside of there. And you can have issues and headlight issues if those wires get corroded. It's happened to me before. This is also very dirty. Easy time to clean this up. All right. So the tab is right. Let me turn so I can see what I'm showing you guys. The tab is right there, and it's only on one side. There's a little hole on your handlebar right there that normally sits into. That's just for placement, whatever, but it's not that big of a deal. I have a pocket knife in my pocket, which any good old boy should always have. But I think if I can cut this, that's what I'm going to try to do. I don't know how strong it is. It's at a weird spot, so it is hard to get to. All right, I think I about got it. That should do it. So if I scoot this over, Move it down, line it back up. Stay there for just a split second. Take the screwdriver and let's get our bolts back in. You can get it at such an angle that it's under your handlebars. Now everything that I have on here right now, like nothing is super tight. I'm gonna put it on there so where it doesn't really move around too much, but is easily moved. You don't need to torque it all the way down until we mount this new throttle cable that we've been dying to have for so long. Man, you just get burned out working and coming out here to do projects. Sometimes it's amazing, but with money being down and COVID and everything that's going on, I finally got some time to catch up on some projects. And I've been saying I was going to do these for you guys for quite a while, so need to quit slacking and get on it. All right, so it's on, not super tight, but tight enough. It's not going to move. All right, so that's step one. So the first piece is this right here, and these are the pieces that it comes with. So here's your new throttle, and this is going to let you attach this inside of here so that you can attach your cable down here and run this cable to it. And here's your new finger that you're going to be pulling on that's going to go over the handlebars. So next things next, let's go ahead and run this cable through, and I'll probably go ahead and pull this off for now. Shouldn't be too hard. All right. Once again, guys, I'm sorry, I'm coughing a lot. All right, so this is actually should be really easy to do. I got the cable through, and it easily moves all the way over. All right, it's in there for now. All right, guys, so we're back. Make sure I got this on where you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, so there's some Allens that are in the extra hand throttle, the left hand throttle assembly. It looks like it's a 4mm Allen. So I'm just gonna loosen those up, get that loose there so I can put it on, and then you can tighten it back down. So we'll loosen this up real quick. All right, so after you get the throttle through the handlebars, push this cable wire with this through. I'll pull it back out. It's going to go into this hole straight up and down, push it in there, and then it locks in. The cable pulls. You just thread this piece in right here. You guys can see, thread this in right here until it doesn't go any farther, which is basically right there, and then you can tighten that down with your hand. Once you get that done, you can push this cable back through till it gets tight, and then this black hose will basically just go over that right there. All right, so now that we got that set up, I may have to move this grip. I don't know if it has to be in the way or get scooted over some. So let me look at this real quick, and then I may scoot this over to get my clearancing. Screws. Got them pulled out. I bet you this Dooker's still, yep, it still is stuck on there. And there ain't nothing holding it on no more. Just from, there it goes. A little bit of love, get it loose. All right, so now, all right guys, so we're back installing this extra hand throttle kit, and I think I found a spot for it that might work okay. Truth be told, I'm not super excited about like when I push this headlight over, I thought it would be, I could do it straight down. I don't know, it just seems to be either I have to move it really far left to hit, or you got to slightly turn it up out of the way so that it doesn't hit. That'll be fine. I'll just have to leave it like that. but that looks like how it's supposed to be installed based on my clearancing. And the yellow fly. I hate them things, although not as bad as a wasp. All right, so let's tighten it down. All right. Not gonna kill it, but I'm gonna get it snug because I can't move it any farther over, and I definitely need room for these grips still. I don't want it sticking out. All right. So from what I can see, actually, there's like a little cap or something that's got to go right there. So I think about right there is where it's going to be at. I get room to pull, my hand, I can still brake. Yes, I got room on the throttle. You're not going to hit either one if you're riding. All right, that's all tight. So that's how you want it to be. I still got my mud strap. You brake lever all the way over pretty far to the right. Move your handlebar switch over, and now your extra throttle is going to be over here. The only thing we have left to do is take this apart. We're going to mount this new throttle, and then the cable is going to extend to it. So let's get that on next. All right, guys, this is step 5. We're going to loosen up these 3 screws on top of, if it's a Rancher, it's just where your throttle is. If you got a Foreman or a Rubicon, then you got diff lock. And you're going to be pulling off this diff lock switch so that you can gain access to where your throttle is. Also, if you have a throttle sticking issue or it's stiff, you can try to lubricate it now. I think I'm going to try some ATF. Somebody has told me to use ATF in here. Try to lubricate that cable. There's a little gasket, it should pop right out. Yeah, there's all kind of dielectric grease in here. It's still stiff. So, all right, so let's put these, move all this stuff over. The 3 screws are right there. Can't lose them. Let me go get some ATF. I'm gonna pour it in there. I'll be right back, guys. Let's get this cleaned up. All right, guys, on this next part, after you get these 3 screws off, make sure you got the gasket with it. Take a small screwdriver. I had to use this small one. I tried using a big one and it wouldn't work, but you want to bend this locking tab away that holds that nut on there so that it doesn't come off. And you're going to have to bend it down away from the nut. That way you can get a socket on there or whatever. All right, so that one's flat. It's down. Now, if I was to guess on size, this is gonna say a 12 millimeter, but I'll grab a 10. It's probably a 10. Everything's always a 10. All right. All right, so put a 10 on there, 10 millimeter. Yep, of course. Loosen that up. Now, obviously, this should be able to fall. All right, so there's your stock throttle. You're gonna be replacing it with the modified left-hand throttle kit that you can attach the cable wire to. So I push down on it, remove gasket. We're gonna put that on the new, well, whatever that goes up here. All right, guys, so I filled this up with ATF just to try to lubricate this, make it looser. I'm gonna bend this tab back up. The way that this fits in the throttle right there is it's a little square, so it can only go onto your new throttle one way. Took me a little bit to figure that out, to be honest with you. But once I did, it went right on and it started moving it again. And like I said, I got a little bit of ATF in there to lubricate this because it's been really stiff. The red one, for example, I haven't had any problems with it being stiff, but hers has, so hoping this might work. It says use ATF. A lot of people have said that, but I use transfer case fluid. It's very, very similar. So I got that on there. I got the nut tight. And now we're just going to install this cap back on and figure out the adjustment for this so that when I pull it, that it moves. And also this brake Might have to be moved up some so I have clearancing for that, but coming up on the end of it, this should be wrapping it up. All right, guys, so I don't know on yours, but on mine, I loosened up this bottom 8mm screw and was able to pick up on this lever for your right-hand brake, the front brake, and I got it moved up. Now I got this bracket that needs to be tightened back down because I loosened this up. So we're going to tighten that down, and I'm going to put this back on top. Actually, before you put it back on, it says to turn this lock nut back up, and if you can find your little screwdriver that you used. All right, off camera, got it like the second time. I picked underneath it. Try to prevent. There it goes. That's straight up and down. That's so that nut doesn't back out for any weird reason. Now that we got that on there, our gasket's still in place. It's gonna sit nicely. We'll put this back on. All right, so get these screwed back down. Be careful not to twist them too much because they will bend and they're soft. All right, that's on there good. It ain't going nowhere. All right, guys, so I might have skipped a step or two on you, but basically what you want to do, this camera looks dirty, hold on. I loosened this bolt up to move your brake handle out the way. Picks up a little bit. You got a little bit of room in your brake line there. When you run this cable through, pull it through the bolt there, run this bolt up and tighten it so it's up against the cable. And once you get that on there, you can come with like a pair of vice grips, not vice grips, like the electric crimpers and insulator cutters in the crimper, and crimp this little clamp right here on the steel cable. And then I left a little bit just so I can make some final adjustments before I cut it all the way short. But once you clamp it down and you tighten this bolt up, and then you tighten the bolt that's underneath here on the bottom of the throttle, it's on there, and we'll go take it for a test drive. All right, so start it up. I can still grab reverse. All right, let's try that one more time. All right, now neutral first, left hand throttle. All right, guys, so let's back this up. It's in reverse, left hand throttle only. I still got room for my brake on the outside. That one's fine. Pretty cool. There's no difference in you pulling on the left one or the right one. Everything is working smooth. Oh, that's awesome. All right, guys, it's on. Works flawlessly. I like it. Hopefully this helped you, and I'll try to cover everything that I know that you're going to want to have in need before you start this. But as you can see, the left-hand throttle works great. I love it. Super excited for Ashton to be able to use this. So let's start on the editing, and I'll get this knocked out for you guys. Thanks for watching.